which again is a testament to a place we haven't been before. It was obvious that the game was out even before we were scoring points. Like they scored 14-17 in the past. I'm feeling like a loss is coming. This year, I was like, okay, we just need to score again. You know what I
Dude,
mean?
when,
It's a
when
different
they
feel with
scored,
King.
when they scored to make it 17-14, I was like, oh shit. Like,
Yeah,
are we
I
about to
wasn't worried.
lose?
I wasn't worried.
I was a little worried, but
I was a little worried.
I get what you're saying though, Jay, and I'm actually going to go with you in terms of saying that I'm going to give Rhett Lashley an incomplete on his grade right now, but it was good, right? Because we've asked for guys that use the personnel.
Correct.
I personally wanted a power spread. That's why I wanted Lashley over a guy like I can't remember Texas Tech dude's name, David Yost, right? So I wanted the power spread. I wanted a rush heavy look, and we wanted guys that used our personnel and that called according to the game, right? That's exactly what
100%,
Lashley
bro.
did
That's
last
100%.
night. We got our running backs involved, which is probably our strongest position group on the team right now. They all three looked incredible last night. And then De'Aaron King as a ball carrier was just amazing as well. So, I mean, he called the right game. I'm a little worried about passing situations after what we watched, but that's, I'm not going to blame anyone specifically. There's a lot of blame on the wide receivers. De'Aaron King missed some deep balls. You could argue that, Rhett Lashley could have done better, but that's beside the point, right? Is that I'm not worried about the offense as much as I'm worried about position groups right now.
Let me add one more before I forget it.
Okay.
As far as I'll give it credit for play calling. I don't know if King made these decisions or if that was on Rhett. But one of the things I was about to tweet it this morning, I decided not to. I don't think I did anyway. But I feel like every game there should be at least one red zone attempt made to Brevin Jordan. I'm glad we got him in the end zone last night in the red zone. Like that's somebody that if we make that same decision last year against Florida, I think it's a different outcome. Like you have to use that player in the red zone. You have to at least make an attempt at it. So the fact that I saw that, keep doing that. I think that'll solve some of our red zone problems in general. And also just as far as points left on the board, this was one thing that disappointed me about King that I almost forgot about, bro. That pass to
was it the one to Peyton that just sailed on?
Yes.
Oh,
this is why it irritated me, bro. When we brought in King, I felt like for the first time we were bringing in a grown man, bro. We're bringing in somebody we don't have to worry about the dumb little mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And for 99% of the game, we didn't see that. That's a pass that I would expect to see somebody like Cozy make. Young Cozy, where he's inconsistent head-wise. You know what I'm saying? Like, just bad decisions sometimes. Not even talking about talent. Just hadn't had it there yet. Still a young player. For him to make a lazy throw on that, bro, on a sure touchdown, that was disappointing. I'm not worried about it, but I was disappointed to see that in him. You know what I'm saying? Like, just on the expectation part of why you're here and what we're expecting from you. I'm not looking at stats. I'm not looking at nothing like that. But, like, those things is what I thought we were done with completely. I'm glad I only saw one thing, but that definitely stood out to me.
Yeah, that play was like a killer. I mean, because Peyton was wide.
Great call. That's why I started that. Great call.
Great.
It was an absolutely great call.
Yeah, perfect. Hey Jay, my last question for you. I know that you said you don't want to give a prediction, but if you had to, what are you leaning towards for the Louisville game?
Leaning towards something like 31-21, something like that.
Canes?
31-21 Canes. I think that our defense I trust Manny with our defense completely. Like I don't think he's ever gonna just blow a game. You know what I'm saying? So once we get rolling, bro, I like what we have. It didn't show up for the full game today or last night. But I mean, if the offense doesn't turn it over, we're not giving them points. I think there's very few teams that's just gonna work it down on us and finish those drives, bro. That's just how I feel with Manny there. I'm sorry. I might be biased at this point, but I feel like he's proven himself with no help on the offensive end for years. Now that he has help on the offensive end, I think that we're not going to have that slow drive or a slow first half that we had, and we'll get around 31 against a better team.
Okay. All right.
That's a great point, man. Yeah. I mean, dude, you gave some really great takes, and honestly, like, you know, I had my mind pretty made up since last night about how I felt, but I mean, dude, you're giving me some great takes and actually softening me a little bit. So
yeah, man, you need to listen to my takes about LeBron more, bro.
No,
Get yourself up.
We may have to get you on after the Louisville game. What do you think, Jack?
Hey, man, as long as I'm off, I'm good. I should have at least one day off next week. I'll hit y'all up.
All right, brother. Thank you for coming on, man.
No problem, bro. Appreciate the invite. Y'all boys be easy.
Hey, thanks, Jay. Cool, man. That was great. That was fantastic.
He's awesome. He cracks me up, man.
Yeah. No, he's good, and he gave some very, very great takes. He really did.
He knows what he's talking about, man.
Absolutely. So, was there anything you wanted to cover before we call in our next guest?
Tate Martell was suspended apparently for last night's game.
Yeah, I saw that in the press conference. That's kind of puzzling. It makes me wonder if the depth chart would be adjusted at all if he was active. But I kind of have a feeling that probably not.
Yeah. kind of interesting. But yeah, let's get Austin on the phone. Let's talk some Canes. Let's talk some basketball too.
Cool.
Hello?
Austin, what's going on, man?
What's good? How you guys doing?
Not too bad, bro.
We're chilling, man. Okay, so you all know Austin. He's been on the show. He is the leader of Heat Twitter.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
I would.
Yeah, I think I would. Okay, so I don't know if we should start off with Canes or the Heat. Let's start off with Canes. So, did you watch the game last night? How are you feeling?
Yes, of course. You know, Canes, that's my first love since my future Hall of Famer, Ja'Cory Harris. I know you guys love him. But yeah,
is he going into the firefighter Hall of Fame? Because that's the only one I can think of.
Oh, wow. Well, at least he's serving the community now. You got to give him his props.
Oh, for sure. Respect to that. I was just, I just can't imagine him in the College Football Hall of Fame.
No, he's a Hall of Famer in my heart. That's all that matters.
Just because of one game, I'm right there with you, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Canes win 31-14. How are you feeling? Like, how did you feel watching that game? It was great to get the win, man. I feel like it had been a long time since we had won a game. How are you feeling about the Canes?
I love what I saw from De'Aaron King last night. Like, if I was in a coma and I was waking up from the Brad Kaya era to De'Aaron King era, like, Brad Kaya was a statue in the pocket, and De'Aaron King, he makes shit happen in the pocket. So, like, I'm excited what I saw last night. And that play on 3rd and 9, like, almost jumped off my couch.
Bro, that's why we got him. That's that play right there.
I've been texting that to all my friends, you know, that don't watch Miami football. I've been sending that around. Like, that's how cool it was, you know.
Yeah, I never seen a Hurricanes quarterback do that before.
Yeah, I've been showing off the new toy, so I'm very excited about that type of stuff.
Okay, so I mean, after this game, how are you feeling the rest of the season? Are you confident? Are you still a little worried? How are you feeling about the Canes?
Of course I'm confident, but I would like to see like better like deep passes because last night De'Aaron King was a little shaky with the accuracy, but I think everything will be fine. I trust Lashley and Diaz to get us on the right track.
Yeah. Jordan, you want to add anything to that? Because I know you're in crisis mode right now. Not crisis mode, but I mean, you still want to see a lot.
I do. I was left with a lot to be desired. However, like I said earlier, you know, I'm not out on this season. I'm not out on on anything quite yet. I still have hope that the deep balls will look better, the passing game will look better. I think there's a lot of gelling that could be done on offense, and then I'm just very worried about our defense, man. I think this is, from a talent perspective, top to bottom, our worst defense since Manny Diaz got here. And it doesn't help that Blake Baker's the defensive coordinator instead of Manny.
Yeah.
So
Oh, wow.
I'm worried about that. I'm worried that we have our worst defensive roster and we have our worst defensive coach coordinator. I mean, we've only had two, right? I mean, we've only had two coordinators, so it's not hard for him to be our worst defensive coordinator in 6 years.
Yeah.
But that's the fact of the matter is this is going to be our worst defense, and I think to me last night proved it.
Okay. Austin, do you have anything to say to that? Are you worried about our defense?
The secondary, yes, but Al Blades Jr. he played decent last night, but other than that, I think our secondary needs to step up.
Bro, I think it's just one guy in the secondary. I think it's
Dude, Marsh, do you remember the play we were watching it and there was like a stop route that a dude caught on the bottom of the screen, and he caught it wide open, and it took like almost a full second before Christian Williams appeared on the screen to make a tackle. Like he got burned that bad on a stop route.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it was just the kind of coverage they were playing, but yeah. But I completely understand what you're saying. Austin, what's one thing you want? I mean, what's one thing besides the secondary that worries you about this team, and then one thing that you're really excited about, and you can't say De'Aaron King?
Well, one thing that worries me is pass rushing.
Okay.
And one thing that excites me is Cam and Brevin. That's two things, but yeah. Like those two are studs.
They are.
I feel okay. So last night the pass rushing. Let's talk about that for a sec, because Quincy Roche got a sack, but that was it. That was the only sack that we got. And I know that Roche and Jalen, like, a few times they were close to the quarterback, but to me, I was a little underwhelmed by our pass rush, because, I mean, I have literally spent the last 8 months talking shit on our pass rush because I think that we were just going to ball, and we just had one sack against UAB. I don't know. Were you a little disappointed at that?
Yeah, I was definitely disappointed.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's a big hole to fill without Greg.
Dude, it made me miss Rousseau.
Yeah, that's a big hole to fill.
Yeah, Jordan, what are you thinking about the pass rush, man?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely get where you guys are coming from, because I would have liked to see better numbers. I do feel like that's like what UAB game planned for. So I'm hoping that we see something better. I guess I feel about it the same way I felt about the deep balls. Is it was just like I'm gonna wait till next week to feel bad about that, I guess. But I definitely see where you guys are coming from, because the expectations were so high. I thought Jalen Phillips was putting pressure nearly every play, which made me feel happy. But I felt like UAB was purposefully trying to avoid our pass rush.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it a TBD so far, but like I said, I definitely get where you guys are coming from.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Nothing to panic though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not ready to hit the panic button on it. I do like how you talked about Cam. Dude, Cam, like, 134 yards. That dude, and it looks like he's okay. He went down on an injury, and it looked like it was going to be bad there for a sec, but apparently he's okay and still get to play. And then Brev, he had 0 catches in the first half, but I think he had like 3 just on one drive in the second half and a touchdown. I was a little disappointed that it took that long to get Brev the ball, and also no catches for Mallory. And then we didn't see any of the true freshmen make catches. Jordan, I mean, were you guys concerned at all by that? Were you expecting to see more?
I was.
You can go first, Jordan.
Okay. Yeah, I was just overall concerned by our wide receivers. I just really didn't see anything that made me excited. That's not saying everything was terrible, but I'm just saying there was nothing from our wide receiver group last night that like made me get really hyped. I just felt like they weren't getting separation. I felt like there was
that.
Yeah, there was nothing that really made me be like, this could be a good Mike Harley year, or wow, Mark Pope proved me wrong, or man, I was right about D Wiggins, because I've been pushing D Wiggins all off season. I didn't see anything about that. I just saw like this is a group of dudes that were the I mean, what were they, like the 3, 4, 5 on our depth chart last year? That's kind of what it looked like.
Yeah.